I've struggled to find just the right words to share with you today. It's not easy to say goodbye, and I consider myself so incredibly fortunate to have had something that has been so wonderful that it makes it so hard to say goodbye. There are so many different ways that you can approach this farewell address. Some people have spoken of great philosophic principles, others have extolled legislative accomplishments, and several have even discussed their family's political genealogy. And I, too, am not the first member of my family to serve in this institution. But really, none of that is important. To me, the most important thing to convey to you here today is the deep and profound gratitude that I have, and to say thank you. Thank you to the incredible people of the 93rd Legislative District in Southern York County that believed in me and trusted me to do their will and be their voice here in Harrisburg. It has truly been the greatest honor and privilege to serve them. I've been humbled to have been so warmly welcomed into their lives, to share in their great joys and celebrations, but also to mourn with them and share in their great sorrows. Thank you to each and every one of you, the duly elected representatives of the people of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to serve with you and to get to know each of you as we have endeavored to do the people's work. The summer before I was elected to the House, I had the opportunity to spend some time with former York County State Senator Ralph Hess. His granddaughter, Anna, and our youngest son, Spencer, are dear friends. We talked for hours. He regaled me with stories of legislative adventures in days gone by, and how if you didn't comply with the leadership's demands, they would take your office away from you. The East Wing did not exist, so apparently that's where your desk would have gone, in that breezeway. They said if you weren't going to vote the right way, that they'd lock you in the broom closet. So I want to say thank you to our leadership team, to Speaker Turzai, to Leader Reed, for empowering me to represent the voters in my district, even when I might not have voted the way they wanted to, me too, even when they haven't agreed with me. I appreciate that so much, that they allowed me to put my people first. And I think that if I had served back in the olden days, I may have spent a lot of time without an office, locked in a broom closet. I've found that one of the greatest challenges in public life is not forgetting who you are and where you came from. And I'm certain that none of you can forget that before I was a legislator, I was a school board director. I know. I can tell you're very, very surprised, but I will tell you this, that if the states are laboratories of democracy, the school board was my test kitchen. And I need to thank my former school board directors, the students and the staff and administration at Dallastown for helping me to learn that educational excellence and fiscal responsibility are not mutually exclusive goals, that government can deliver high-quality outcomes by creatively using scarce resources, that by working collaboratively with various stakeholders, you can hold the line on taxes and create well-rounded students ready to take on the challenges of tomorrow. But most importantly, they taught me how to implement zero-based budgeting and performance measures, and that they really do work. And all of those lessons have served me so well here in the Capitol. I need to thank my remarkable parents, Karen and Jay Phillips, for their unwavering love and support and encouragement, even when they haven't agreed with me. Joining me here today is my wonderful husband, Rick Hill. He is the consummate political spouse. When I was in college, my professors told me that there was no such thing as Prince Charming and happily ever after. And I need to publicly thank Rick Hill for proving them wrong. Thank you to our children, Victoria, Gavin, and Spencer. I'm so proud to be their mom, and I'm so grateful for the lessons that they taught me, many of which prepared me for my service here in Harrisburg. Thank you to the wonderful people that have worked with me over the last 4 years in the district and in Harrisburg. Tom Metz, Galen Weibley, Michael Curley, Scott Little, Michelle Pinkerton, and Lauren Evans. Each of them has brought different talents and skills to serve the people of the 93rd District well, but what they've all had in common is a passion for the people, solving their problems, and making government work better for them. You're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with, and they've made me look good every day that they have served. Thank you to the many exceptional interns that we've had join us, especially our senior intern, Margaret Ibex, who always brought sunshine to our office, kept us organized, and even baked us cookies. Thank you to the York County delegation, my Harrisburg family that the voters of York County gave to me. Stan, Keith, Seth, Kate, Dawn, and Carol. I'm so proud to be a member of this cohesive team that has worked so hard for all of York County. We have a joke in York County, and that is that we never sleep. There is someone up on duty 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's so bad that at one point, even our former state senator, Scott Wagner, texted us, I think it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and said, "Do you people ever sleep?" The answer is no. Thank you to my dear friend, Seth Grove. Thank you for being the Reagan to my Thatcher, my closest political ally, fellow policy wonk, and really, truly a dear friend. Brian Cutler has often admonished me that, Kristin, you can't helicopter parent your delegation. They're a lot of work, but I gladly turn the reins over to Representative Dawn Kiefer. I know that she will take very good care of them. York County and Adams County, they have a really close connection. Adams County was actually part of York County at one point, and Will Tallman and Dan Mao, they seem like one of us. Will Tallman has always made me laugh. The first time I met Will Tallman was over the phone. I had recently been hired. It was actually my first day on the job working for my predecessor, Ron Miller. I picked up the phone and I said, "Good morning, Representative Ron Miller's office. This is Kristin. How can I help you?" And the voice on the other end of the phone said, "What is Ron wearing today?" Calmly, I said, "Hold on a moment, please." Went into the other office and said, "We have a creeper on line 1. Will, it's been a pleasure to serve with you. I have a few words for Dan Mao later in my remarks. Kate Klunk, thank you for being the sister that I never had. Almost every crazy adventure that I've had in this place has included Kate, including teaching Emily Roush, our legislative assistant, how to do the bunny hop to Lawrence Welk at 11 o'clock at night, one evening in the East Wing. Brian Cutler, I have to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve as a deputy majority whip since I arrived here in the Capitol. Thanks for taking a chance on a freshman legislator. Although I'm not really sure if that was not some sort of hazing because you put Jeff Pyle on my deputy whip list. And I'm sure Becky Corbin can relate to this, but Jeff really put me through my paces early on. And I can tell you that For the first 6 months, he wouldn't give me an answer on how he would vote. The next 6 months, well, he gave me a response. There wasn't a column for his answer, and I really can't say what it was publicly from this rostrum. Jeff avoided me for a while, and I have to tell you that I know every shortcut and every hiding place in this Capitol because I've tracked him down. Harry Lewis and I were going to a meeting on the other side of the Capitol complex. I said, oh, wait, Harry, this is the way we can get there faster. And he said, how do you know that? I said, I've tracked Jeff Pyle down for over a year. I need to thank our exceptional staff, particularly those that serve the education, health, and state government committees. You are exceptional people, and I thank you so much for all of your hard work. I need to thank the chairman of those committees, Chairman Hickernell, Chairman Baker, and now Chairwoman Rapp, and Chairman Metcalf. I have really enjoyed the policy work that we have done. Probably one of my fondest committee moments was working on a piece of legislation in the State Government Committee and was struggling to get what I needed from the administration. And I said to the gentleman, I'm going to tell you what I tell my sons, and that is, your lack of preparedness does not constitute an emergency on my part. You need to get this done and get me an answer, or we're running the bill regardless. Chairman Metcalf turned to me and he said, you know, I'm not used to being the good guy. I'm grateful to my dear friends and colleagues in the Common Sense Caucus, particularly Chairman Mao. That's M-O-U-L, not M-A-O. That summer was a really difficult one. And in the past, I had been asked by my constituents, you know, why don't you have a seat at the table? And Dan Mao said, you know, I'm coming back here until I find a solution. And we did. Dan, you're often irreverent. You always make me laugh, and you are a dear friend. I also need to thank Frank Ryan, who I really got to know that summer. I'm proud to be called his granddaughter. We've endeavored to do some really important public policy. The one that I have appreciated working with Dawn Kiefer and Greg Rothman the most on has been regulatory reform. Thank you for being champions of something that has been so important to the people that I represent. Thank you to Greg Rothman. When Greg came into the House, he came up to me with his fist clenched and unloaded an entire stack of Reese's peanut butter cups and said, I hope that we can be friends. And I thought, well, obviously my reputation precedes me. I'm a tough customer and I really like candy. To Rick Saccone. Rick Saccone was my first seatmate, and I have to tell you, he needs to come with a warning label. On swearing-in day, I'm here, and this is so new, and everything's so fresh, and I wanted to do my very best, and we said the prayer, and then we said the pledge. And for those of you who don't know, when Rick Saccone gets to the part of the pledge where it says, one nation, he literally shouts, under God. I came out of my shoes and almost broke my ankle. I warned Dawn Kiefer when she took that seat. I've been fortunate to have great times with my seatmates. I think one of the things people don't really know is how many sacrifices you make here and how many difficult decisions that you have to make and the sacrifices that your families make. And my son Spencer was swimming in the PIAA state championship finals at Bucknell, and the medical marijuana bill was on the floor, and I felt that it was really important for me to be here. I had promised people back home I would cast those votes. I've never missed one. And it was really tough. And I called him and I said, hey, bud, I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry. We're here, we're voting on medical marijuana. It's really so important. And he says, hey, guys, my mom's talking about pot up on the House floor. She's not going to be here. The entire locker room erupted in laughter. I said, son, that's not what I said. But thanks to our IT department and Carl Metzger and Matt Gobler, I somehow got that swim meet on my laptop at my desk, and I had a cheering section from all over the Commonwealth when he medaled. Working across the aisle, it happens more than you know. People always say, can't you people in Harrisburg get along? Well, we do. It just doesn't make the front page of the newspaper. I need to thank my colleagues across the aisle who've partnered with me, Pam Delisio for working on teacher certification for military spouses and getting it signed into law, Jared Solomon for standing against bigotry and hatred in the wake of the bomb threats against the Jewish Community Center in my district, Mike Schlossberg, thank you for being a partner on suicide prevention. And to my dear friend Pam Snyder, thank you for working with me to close the digital divide. In closing, I want to thank you once again. It has been such a great honor and a privilege to serve here with you. And I want to leave you with this promise, and that is that I will never forget who I am and where I came from, and know that I look forward to the day when I can say, do you know I used to be a House member? Thank you once again. God bless each and every one of you. God bless the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the United States of America.